This video was brought to you by Casetify. What up, gamers? Petey the Pro Gamer here. As you know, pwning scrubs is my thing. The problem is, I need a good way to carry my Switch around so I can pwn scrubs anywhere necessary. So that's why Is that my package from Casetify? Stop! What is it? You probably already know about their protective phone cases, but this right here is one of their new Nintendo Switch carry cases, which fits both original and OLED models. Yes, that is indeed my name, Arlo's name, you get what I'm saying, on the front, and you can customize your own case when you order. This thing is hard on the outside, soft on the inside, like a fancy chocolate. Pro gamers love fancy chocolate. It's got room for 10 Switch cartridges and several accessories. This little screen cover flips up to form a stand so you can get gaming in seconds without wasting precious time taking your Switch out. The shoulder strap has got this secret little loop for holding any number of important belongings. Phone, headphones, con badge, whatever. This case has got a two-way zipper for easy access, it's durable and water resistant, and to top it all off, it's made from 90% recycled materials, so you can feel good about yourself, even as you're racking up loads of wins, getting lots of points. Gamers get points. Oh, but I didn't just get the case. This is one of Casetify's Switch OLED screen protectors. They help protect your eyes by blocking harmful blue light. They're thin and highly resistant to scratches, shocks, and smudges, and the antimicrobial coating kills germs on contact and keeps you and your Switch and you clean. If you want to get in on this, head to casetify.com/Arlo or hit the link down in the description to get 15% off your Switch accessories. Now it's time for that Petey the Pro Gamer catchphrase, go video games!
Warning, this video discusses the modern movie industry and contains dangerous levels of cynicism, which may impede one's ability to simply watch a movie and have fun. Viewer discretion is advised.
What a savings! My friends, today is a good day. That is because we still live in a universe where the Mario movie exists. It is real, and it is coming next year. If you're anything like me, you're still recovering from the cast reveal at the last Nintendo Direct. I mean, seriously, I think I sprained my Glarphaleptor laughing that hard. Wait, do humans have Glarphaleptors? Might just be a monster thing, sorry. Seriously though, the reveal was absolutely hilarious. The Mario movie has been in development for years now, and all this time we've been wondering exactly how you can have all the Mario characters we've known and loved for decades speaking enough to carry a whole movie. Especially Mario himself, who has never spoken more than just short phrases. We just didn't know what a Mario movie would look like. And learning that the answer to the whole conundrum was for the producers to just do what the producers of every big Hollywood animated movie do and cram the whole thing full of big, well-known actors, regardless of how well they fit their respective roles. It was just too funny. It was so obvious, yet still so bizarre. Even months later, it's hard to imagine Chris Pratt's voice coming out of Mario's mouth. It's hard to imagine a Charlie Day Luigi. And even the casting choices that made at least a little more sense, like Jack Black as Bowser, are hard for me to imagine. Because even the characters who have had big speaking roles in the RPG games have rarely, if ever, been right there in front of us, fully animated and just talking a whole bunch. It's just not something we tend to see in Mario games, and adding a bunch of big celebrities to the mix makes it even weirder. Because of these baffling casting choices, the Mario movie sounds like it's got a very good chance of being a train wreck. And that's not even considering Miyamoto's intense dislike of anything more than a basic Bowser Take Peach story in any Mario game. We know that he's working closely with Illumination, and I hope this doesn't sound too harsh, but it's a little hard to imagine him coming up with something compelling. Oh, and that's another thing. Illumination! The studio that unleashed the curse of the minion upon the world, and that is known for producing movies that bring in a lot of money, but are as cheap as possible to make. And that's not me being snarky, that's literally their MO. With all that going against it, does the Mario movie have any chance of being good? I'm doubtful, but I don't know for sure. I might not like Miyamoto's stories, but at least he's got passion. He created Mario, and he's working closely with them on the movie. That's gotta count for something. Maybe it will end up being a genuinely good time. Or maybe it'll be a giant stinker after all. Who knows? When it comes to the movie's success, on the other hand, well, that's a different story. There's only one way that can turn out. In fact, I'm here today to give you some news that might come as a surprise to some. The Mario movie is going to be a massive, massive success. The way I see it, there are a few main reasons the Mario movie is going to make more money than me or anyone watching this will ever see in our whole lives. To start, tell me if this describes you. For as long as you've known about the Mario movie, you've been wary of it. For the reasons I covered earlier, it didn't seem like something they could pull off without it just being too weird. Or even if a good Mario movie were possible, you knew it wasn't likely considering how Nintendo likes to stick with bog-standard Mario stuff and ignore the more interesting characters and plot lines from the RPG games. You knew you would probably watch the Mario movie because it's a Mario movie. You want to know how it turns out, but you weren't necessarily excited for it. Then you watched that Nintendo Direct, and now you cannot wait to see the Mario movie. You can't wait. It's one of your most highly anticipated releases of 2022 because you know that if it ends up being a train wreck, it's going to be a spectacular train wreck. Chris Pratt as Mario? Yes, please. Bring on the ridiculous casting. The more the merrier now. Let's make this the weirdest, most wholeheartedly so bad it's good movie in video game history. That all certainly describes me, and judging by what I've seen and heard, there are many people just like me. Everyone I know is now ecstatic to see the Mario movie. Watching it is now a top priority for a whole lot of people. There's of course no way to calculate just how many or how much extra money they're going to bring in, but I'm willing to bet that the numbers are not insignificant. Every film roasting YouTube channel in existence is drooling at the prospect of this movie. Next, Illumination. There's no doubt that the very name comes with some pretty negative connotations. There's nothing wrong with trying to develop projects efficiently. I mean, the whole point of a Hollywood movie is to make more money than you spend, ideally a lot more. But when that goal is right there in your mission statement, that's when it starts to feel a little icky. We want our movies to be fueled by passion, at least to some degree. We want to believe that the people working on them are at least trying to make something good, and not just a cold, calculated product. Then there's the quality issue. Again, it's not necessarily wrong to be mindful of your budget. Some of my favorite movies were made on tight budgets. Low budget doesn't have to mean bad. But, gosh, how do I put this? These movies are awful. Okay, I can't blame anyone for liking them. Quality is subjective. If you like Minions, I won't hold it against you. But based on what I've seen and heard, in my opinion, Illumination movies aren't just cheap. They're bland, boring, underdeveloped, and stuffed with the cheapest, laziest jokes possible. They feel so artificial and focus tested. It's like they're all written by a robot. Minions are a menace. They've done irreparable damage to the very concept of comedy. Here's the thing about Illumination, though. Their whole deal, cheap movies that make a lot of money, it works. It works. If you look at their filmography, you see that they've only gotten better and better at putting bottoms in seats. Despite giving each movie a near identical budget, that's half of what other big studios put into their movies. Their list of big franchises is growing. Every time they put Minions on the poster, they make $1 billion. Illumination is in the business of making products that sell. They're not likely to turn out a dud here, people. Whatever we might end up thinking, there's no doubt in my mind that they're going to give us a movie that clicks with general audiences. Even if they have to pack it full of musical artist cameos and fart jokes and pop culture references to do it. And that leads me to my main point. The main reason I'm absolutely certain that the Mario movie is going to make enough money to give Wario a conniption. To illustrate this point, I would like to talk about a different movie studio. Disney. Specifically, I'd like to take a look at a certain type of movie they've been putting out a lot in recent years. Remakes. To many, it may seem silly to even consider remaking a movie that's already a near-perfect, beloved masterpiece, But from a business standpoint, this whole remake initiative is one of the smartest things Disney's ever gotten into. The quality of these movies varies. I quite enjoyed the Jungle Book remake, as it was really beautiful and introduced some interesting new elements to the story. The Beauty and the Beast remake, however, in my opinion, was a bland milquetoast slog compared to the original. Aladdin remake, same exact thing. And everything I've seen of the Lion King remake takes the whole exactly like the original but way, way worse idea to the max level. In fact, from a critical standpoint, it seems that pretty much everyone is in agreement that the Lion King remake is a monument to cynical, unfeeling, technically impressive, yet creatively bankrupt filmmaking. Then, of course, it goes without saying that some of Disney's other endeavors are doing pretty darn well for themselves, too. Now that Marvel is a household name, nearly every movie they put out under that umbrella makes $1 billion, or close to it. And Star Wars? Jeez. Doesn't matter how much everyone hates a Star Wars movie. Doesn't matter how badly Disney bungles the story. If it's a numbered Star Wars sequel, everyone goes to see it. I suppose it makes a little more sense in these latter two cases, seeing as you're looking at ongoing stories where people want to see what happens next. But it's still strange that even the universally panned entries make so much money, right? And back to the remakes. Why on earth are those making so much money? Why do people want to watch a movie with a near identical script to the original, but with almost none of the charm and captivating visuals? Why would they want to watch something so bland? Why are all these Disney movies making so much money? Don't get me wrong, there are plenty of people out there who go to the theater hoping to see a genuinely good film. Something that surprises them, stimulates them intellectually, maybe even challenges them. My gosh, I sound like the biggest snob right now. Guess I'm rolling with it. But the majority of moviegoers want something they know they'll enjoy, especially families. They don't want a movie that's challenging or weird. They don't want to take a chance on a property they're not familiar with, and they want something both the kids and adults can enjoy. Star Wars? Marvel? Aladdin? You know what you're getting. Exactly what you're getting. This is why sequels and remakes dominate the industry right now. It's why at any given time there's a Robin Hood or a King Arthur movie in development. And if you want to talk about a more narrow but still massive demographic, it's why a movie called The Scarening, with a picture of a little girl in an old-timey white robe with her hair over her face, will make hundreds of millions of dollars. Familiarity, predictability, comfort. It's what most people crave. I wish that wasn't the way things worked, but it is, and I'm not even gonna get on someone's case for being one of those people. These are tough times. Do what makes you happy. To finally get to the conclusion that you've no doubt already reached, though, who is the most familiar face in the world of video games? Who is, in many cases, predictable to the highest degree? Who delivers some of the most comfortable experiences you're likely to have with a controller in your hands? Who is the Mickey Mouse of games? The character that elicits a warm, nostalgic response in basically anyone of any age? You're darn right. It's our boy, Mario himself. Video game movies have had a shaky history. Most often, they try to appeal to mass audiences, and in the process, fail to appeal to any audience. In recent years, however, we've seen significantly more success. The Sonic movie and Detective Pikachu both made a lot of money, and were legitimately enjoyed by more fans of their respective series than probably every other video game movie that came before them combined. The thing is, though, both Sonic and Pokemon have large but relatively limited fanbase demographics. Not a lot of people play those series unless they grew up with them. Do you know a lot of 60-year-olds who play every Pokemon game and spend hours and hours defending Sonic colors on Twitter? They exist, absolutely, but are they common? Mario, though. Everyone's played Mario. Everyone likes Mario. Mario has reached a level of worldwide familiarity far beyond any other video game character. He's a cherished icon. Everyone is going to see the Mario movie, and I mean everyone. People like me who want to see how weird it is. Kids with Switch lights and Mario lunchboxes. Older folks who have fond memories of playing Donkey Kong in arcades way back in the day. And this would be true at any time, but especially now that the Switch has brought Nintendo back to the world and Mario is selling better than ever? I mean, this is probably going to be Nintendo's most successful generation ever. This is the best possible time they could have made a Mario movie. I repeat, everyone is going to see the Mario movie. There's of course no way to really predict how much money it will make, and the more specific I get with my numbers, the more likely I am to end up being wrong. But honestly, it's easy for me to see $1 billion in ticket sales, right along with Illumination's other movies. Hey, maybe that won't happen, maybe it will be lower than that, but I'll bet you anything that it will at the very least be extremely profitable. It will make both Nintendo and Universal very, very happy, and be seen as a rousing success. If it ends up exceeding $1 billion, I won't be surprised. And you know what? I'm pretty ding-dang sure Illumination and Nintendo feel that way as well. We still don't know if that rumor about a follow-up Donkey Kong movie is true, but that also would not surprise me. We might not want to hold our breaths for a Hollywood Pikmin movie or a Star Fox movie, but if you're looking for characters outside of the Mario Bros. Who are familiar enough to carry a movie, your only other real option is DK. He's not quite as beloved as Mario, but he's where it all started. He's the OG arcade monkey. And if they're 100% sure the Mario movie is going to make bank, it only makes sense to have a follow-up already in production. And maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but you know how Hollywood works. Especially with all these famous actors tied to the project, who knows which characters will end up striking a chord with audiences. Again, I don't see a greater Nintendo cinematic universe happening, but I could easily see a whole bunch of Mario spin-offs. Everyone thinks Jack Black's Bowser is hilarious? Boom, Bowser movie. Keegan-Michael Key and his Toad friends get up to some Minion-esque antics? Bam, Illumination's Toads. Or Luigi, he could A Luigi's Mansion movie is a real possibility. A real, actual possibility. I can't, talk about a universe to live in, huh? Well, before I spiral off into a whole thing about that, I guess I should wrap this discussion up. Point is, well, I guess you get the point by now. The Mario movie. It's gonna be a thing. But hey, do you think I'm wrong? Is it gonna be a massive flop? Will it make even less money than the 90s Mario movie? Let me know down in the comments. And in the meantime...